Carlos said Bonicia Day. All night, Carlos.
This is the Las Vegas Southwest 100. Las Vegas.
The rush of the losses, the risk and the opportunity, the chance to win makes me come out.
The big part of winning is not being afraid to lose big.
You cannot be scared if you want to come out and gamble.
You have to be willing to put it on the line. If you're not willing to put it out there, you're not going to win it.
All gamblers have to have the same mindset, willing to risk if they want to win.
You have to be fearless.
Damn, I'm ready to rip somebody's freaking head off. You can't play on scared money.
If you don't play smart, you won't play long.
Hell yeah. How about that, guys? Bring it home to us, buddy. You won. Nice job.
You have to have the mentality that you're going to go for it and put it all on the line.
The better the bet, the more you should bet. The bigger the advantage, the bigger the reward.
Well, when I sit down at that table, I play to win. I'm not there to lose.
Every race, really every move that these drivers make is a gamble. And they have to weigh the pros and cons in a split second, doing things at over 170 miles an hour here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I want to take a look at the starting grid brought to you by South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa. Up front, it's Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney. Larson, that win a week ago. In row 2, Charlotte, North Carolina native William Byron and Ayetta, New Jersey native Mark Truex Jr. both having to go to the back for failing inspection twice earlier today. A little bit deeper in the field, there's Chase Elliott. He'll start in row 6. Tyler Reddick out of the championships in row 7. Continue on back through the field. You saw Eric Almirola, his name also to the rear. They also failed inspection twice, so they're headed to the back and all the way through the rear of the field. Let's dial up Joey Logano on the radio, Jeff.
Hey, Joey, it's Burton. You got us?
I got you.
All right, we got the man we need to talk to. 1-2 of the last 5 here. What can we expect out of this racetrack today?
Hopefully it's 3 out of the last 6. A lot of crazy things can happen here. Obviously, the sun going down is probably the biggest question mark throughout the race. On what you're going to need if the sun goes down, trip-wise, balance-wise, those type of things to try to keep our Pennzoil Mustang towards the front and collect every point. That's what it's about here today. With the next 2 races coming up after this, this will become very important to make sure you have a good day at.
All right, man, I can assure you that no one else is listening but us. Tell us how you're going to take advantage of these restarts because you're so good at it.
Man, there's a lot that goes into it. My spotter, Cole Presley, up there has done a lot of homework as well, trying to figure out what the right moves. It's evolving all the time. It seems like what worked last time sometimes changes for the next races. The drivers keep changing. So it's hard to say. I just know you want to be the one moving forward. You want to be the aggressor, that's for sure.
Kimberly.
All right, Joey. Thank you, buddy.
Have fun out there, guys.
Thank you to Coca-Cola Zero Sugar for letting us ride along today. These great shots.
That will definitely be a fun ride. For a few more updates before the green flag flies, let's go back to Kelly.
Kevin Harvick will be giving us some great views of his onboard camera thanks to the Ford Performance onboard. Kevin told me this is the most important race of this round because they were so bad here in the spring. He said we just have to hope that we made all the right adjustments to come back here in the fall and that the car will be good as the track transitions from daytime heat to nighttime. Remember, he had one of the best opening rounds of the playoffs. Still finds himself at a 12-point deficit, Dave.
Kelly, Chase Elliott's Las Vegas numbers are a little confusing. It's his second worst track based on average finish, yet he ranks second in several categories. I'm not sure what the ultimate result you'll see on the Xfinity onboard today, but for Chase, it'll be the round of 12 and a chance to make the 9 number 1. Kelly?
Toyota is giving us the onboard camera for Kyle Busch, the Las Vegas native. Got his start right here at this speedway, and today he makes career start number 600. But he told me he genuinely doesn't know what to expect out of his race car. Without practice, they said they spent a lot of time with his crew chief, Ben Bayshore, poring over notes, looking at past races, and going through all the data. So they are hopeful he can pick up his second career win here at his hometown track.
And thank you, Kelly and Dave from down there. We always talk about how the race car drivers are so fast. Steve, I would have to say you might be one of the fastest guys to get from the Peacock pit box up here. Can you break down this race for us?
All on foot, too, Rick. It was a great sprint. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a 1.5-mile racetrack. All the way back in July, Atlanta was the last mile-and-a-half track we have seen on the circuit. 18 to 20 degrees, a little bit of variable banking. As you climb out next to the wall, you gain a little bit of banking. I think during the day, we're going to see them up high, but in the evening when the sun goes down, back to the bottom. 267 laps, stage 1, stage 2, both 80 laps in length. The last stage about 107. Somewhere we'll call it 64 to 70 on fuel. So a pit stop required at every stage. In this first stage, on or around lap 25, we expect a competition yellow.
Again, a reminder, no practice, no qualifying before this race. This is the first time that these guys have hit the track. They're all following right now the 2022 Toyota TRD Pro. It's leading the field as the official pace truck for today's race. See the 24 starting to drop back now. Again, the inspection issues 2 times through. They failed, so they'll go to the back. As we look at the current conditions, we talk so much about the heat here and how temperature sensitive this racetrack is. Right now, turns 1 and 2 starting to get into a little bit of shape. At 94 degrees, the sun beating down on this track. The sunset will be around 6:30 local time here.
I'm recording race reaction.
Heavy. There are some gusts. When we talk about this close proximity on the restarts, those gusts could catch a driver off guard in the wrong location.
Again, a reminder, this is the start of round 2. If you win, you advance. If you're one of the playoff drivers, but you don't want to be in the bottom 4 points-wise after the Roval, the 3rd race of this round. And so now you see where everyone has been reset after the points were reset to 3,000, and their playoff points continue to advance with them all the way through the round of 8. And then once they get to Phoenix, it will be no points. It's just who finishes in front of the other 3 that are part of the championship 4. So very important this race as we look forward and have Talladega and the Roval, the next 2 races of this round. So many of these playoff drivers making sure they don't make mistakes. They want to earn as many points as they possibly can so they're not in a hole when they go to the next races. And this is a tough racetrack. We've already seen it. You can't make mistakes here, but you do have options. A very wide racetrack, and they'll move all over the track, from the bottom of the track all the way to the top. It's Kyle Larson.
All right, here we go, pace car.
Blaney. The 5 of Larson on the outside, the 12 of Blaney on
God.
the inside. As we get ready to start the round of 12 from Las Vegas.
Are we ready? Let's go! Green flags in view. We're on our way from Las Vegas. First playoff of the round of 12. Kyle Larson.
4 of Harvick all over the back bumper of that 12 as they went into turn 1. Will it give him enough room to clear the 5?
Big push from Harvick right here. Harvick pushed him so hard, it got him loose into the 3. Now he's stuck in the middle.
Blaney out front, Larson running second now. Up to 3rd, the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
The shade down in turn 1 and 2 is going to give that track a lot of grip, but where the sun is shining on 3 and 4, we'll keep this corner slick all day long until it cools off and the sun sets. These drivers use a lot of this racetrack. Late in the race, I believe it'll become a bottom racetrack.
Saw Kyle Busch make the move on Brad Keselowski, so the 18 moves just in front of the 2. Side by side now, 4th position. This is for 2nd as Hamlin fighting with Larson early in this race for that spot.
Whoa! Oh!
Big move to slide out, trying to get by.
Oh my God! The Benedetto. Oh, jeez.
Benedetto as he made that move way to the inside.
That's on a march right here.
I don't even know what the heck was that all about, man.
Quite a few spots. Cool paint scheme on that car today. Suicide prevention.
Looking forward from the Ford performance of Kevin Harvick. Again, he started up there in the 2nd row, and look at all the cars that have gotten by him now. Here we see Larson to the inside, and Denny Hamlin trying the outside line to get by him for second. Look at the move by Alex Bowman in the 48. He tried the apron as well to get by Matty D.
As much throttle as they use to get around this racetrack, when you get a run, you have to take it. You can't lift, try to help another guy. You're going to create runs for people behind you. You have to take every run you get.
Round one, we thought it was going to be an all Joe Gibbs Racing round. And then in the end, it was Larson who was able to win at Bristol. Now, here comes a couple of Joe Gibbs Racing drivers moving up to the front, chasing after the Penske driver, Ryan Blaney. So it's Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch running second and third now.
A little bit of what we saw in the first race here earlier this year, but so much changes throughout the season. You wonder if any other teams have caught up or can be a part of this picture today, but the Gibbs and Penske cars traditionally run well at this track.
Larson now with a little momentum, trying to fight back. Gets to the outside of Kyle Busch.
Yeah, right here.
Drafting as they go through the front stretch.
Rick, you mentioned during the starting lineups about William Byron and that 24 and that 19 of Martin Truex Jr. both going to the rear. Well, here they are, almost working together. A little separated now. You see the 24 right on the back of traffic. And look at the run the 19 has. That's on the bottom of your screen. Cracking inside the top 20 for both of these drivers. Good recovery, making all the time up they can as Truex goes to the top 3 wide. That's right here, Denny Hamlin on the inside. See what happens on corner exit. A lot of times we'll see that outside lane really gain momentum, but Denny Hamlin just side draft, big side draft. Now here comes Larson to push him by.
Denny Hamlin to the lead at Vegas.
Oh my God, Hamlin.
Now they're side by side for second. This is just an opportunity for Kyle Busch, who's in fourth, to either push or help one of these drivers. He's going to take that outside line and use that momentum to now take third position for the 5 car.
And right through here in 1 and 2, I know you drivers have talked about it a lot. We call it a bump. Some of you have called it a ramp. But how unsettling is that when you're going through there and it's still a slick racetrack?
There's multiple bumps down there in that corner, Rick. As you enter the corner, before you ever get down in low, there's bumps on entry down into the center. Multiple bumps, and I think most of them are toward the bottom. Now, they have crept up the racetrack as this racetrack ages, but you can go around them. If you run this high line, it's not quite as bumpy up here as where it is where Denny's running right now, but if your car drives fast through those bumps, you don't mind running through them. The only reason you would not go through them is if it upsets and slows the car down. Dave, what you got on the 12?
So, Junior, it's no surprise to see Ryan Blaney running up front in the second place and having led the first 7 laps of this race. It's because of his crew chief, Todd Gordon. Todd won here with Joey Logano, very successful with Penske. And when Ryan knew that Todd was going to be his crew chief, talking about places like this, Ryan said, what do you guys do differently? He kind of knew, but Todd and him talked about it.
Ryan Blaney, who I know is the races Atlanta, Michigan, and Daytona. Yeah, I enjoy watching that Daytona race. That was a wild one.
Continuing good battle for the lead. A little bit further back, Brad Doherty mentioned somebody to keep an eye on today. Eric Jones in that 43 car. Leonard in 10th place right here early. Good start for that team.
Top 10 for the 43 of Eric Jones. He'll be back with Richard Petty Motorsports in 2022. And right now in the top 10 here at
Wow,
Vegas,
3 Las Vegas top 10 finishes.
Busch, Larson, Logano.
Okay. Commercial, we wanted to get copyright.
In 2016, I was working at the Amazon warehouse when my brother passed away, and a couple of years later, my mother passed away. After taking care of them, I knew that I really wanted to become a nurse. Amazon helped me with and tuition. Today, I'm a medical assistant, and I'm studying to become a registered nurse. Hindi ko kayo makakalimutan.
Hey, this one. Hey, commercial.
I need to try it first. At USAA,
We can call too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we evolve with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just
And we got damaged.
even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who've honorably served and their families. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
There's something I want to ask you. The new iPhone 13 Pro is here with the most advanced iPhone camera ever, and I got it at T-Mobile.
I thought you were going to talk about forever.
This is a value that lasts forever, because when you get the new iPhone at T-Mobile, trade-in value is locked in.
So we can always have a new iPhone?
Yes. So, what do you say? Switch to T-Mobile with me?
Yes. We're going to T-Mobile.
Fall in love with iPhone. Get it on us now and upgrade every 2 years forever. Only.
This the life. It is. You can pretend. I pretend all day. Sonic uncork slushes. I could totally see myself drinking this on a date. Oh yeah.
Raw power is an iron fist. Ram power puts it in a velvet glove. Raw power doesn't legs. Ram power also lives with its brains. Raw power
mini version.
does what's never been done before by anyone. Discover Ram Power during Ram Power Days.
Get 0% financing for 72 months on select Ram 1500 models or $3,550 in total values on Ram 1500 Bighorn.
If you're new to NASCAR, as you watch tonight's race, follow along on Twitter at NASCAR Nation for a 101 type breakdown of what's happening on the track. We'll explain key turns you hear on the broadcast, and we can answer your questions as drivers open the round of 12 right here in the NASCAR playoffs. From Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Larson trying to fend off that 18.
Oh, we're back.
Right now, as Hamlin and Blaney have separated themselves. Kyle Busch, his 600th start. How about the fact that the 24 of William Byron had to start to the back, and he's broken into the top 10 already?
Yeah, so I mentioned inside the top 20, but now he just passed his teammate, the 9, and now attacking the 2. Unbelievable moves by William Byron, Dave.
Steve, you know where Byron finished the last 2 times? He started at the rear of the field inside the top 10. So this is not unusual for him to be coming through here. Calls his car super good over the radio. But you know the danger here was at the back of the pack here, working his way through some of the slower cars early. Don't damage that 24 car early. He hasn't done that, and now he's cruising through the field.
Great start of this race for William Byron, coming off the heels of last week's race at Bristol. All the pressure on him was
soon enough we're gonna have a lap car. We're gonna reach lap 25. That's when the competition car should happens. Right now it's lap 20.
Easily up into the top 10. I just really impressed with this young man. Maturing right in front of our eyes.
He drives by his teammate Chase Elliott. Chase says, "I need some whatever that 24's got." And to reference another car that started back there, Martin Truex Jr., he's really kind of stalled out around 19th place, so pretty impressive. William, though, seeing a bit of a battle back between Keselowski and him. Brad comes into this race since 2018, has the best average finish of any driver in Vegas, and that's important because going to the next 2 tracks, his average finish since 2018 at the Roval and at Talladega is worse than 15th.
Oh, South Point behind.
I think these step-up moments, Junior, like William Byron right now, what we saw him do last week, what he's doing right now, that builds so much confidence. He went into Bristol a serious underdog. He had to make up the second most points ever to advance into the next round. So with the pressure on, he was able to perform. And then right here today, I mean, just whipping through the field. For a young driver, this can do tons for his confidence and help him moving forward.
But I worry, is his car too good too early? Because this track's going to change a bunch. You would think it's just going to gain grip, get faster, but I think that would be my concern. With the car this good this early, will they be able to keep up with this track when the sun goes down and cools off?
Steve, did a driver just say his car was too good?
Well, that's because he's seen this happen before. Dale Jr. understands. Dale, I don't think it's a handling thing as much as just raw speed, right? If the track cools and everybody else's handling improves, does this 24 just too draggy, right? Do they have too much downforce in it? Is that why it drives so good now during the day? As you brought up, I don't know if they have a plan, but if you and I were this 24 duo, we'd be working on a plan because it is impressive with the sun up. Actually, I'd probably be sitting back with a big smile just enjoying the first 23 laps.
You're hoping that it's just going to keep getting better as the track gets better,
Yeah.
and everybody else will too. You know Rudy Fugle is smiling, and it's just a little bit tied off at the end of the run, guys. So just he's giving feedback, giving his crew chief what he needs.
And that feedback is going to be great because here in a couple laps will be the competition caution. They'll download all this information from driver to crew chief to team to see if they need to make any adjustments at the competition caution.
And that's why NASCAR has done this. It's been very consistent. I know we consider it old hat, but no practice. My entire career we had practice. It used to rain, and the conversation would be, would we ever start a race without practice? Now we've done it for almost 2 years. These guys have got to make it look so easy. I think we all forget these are the first laps these guys have seen. So great for William Byron. Cars that are struggling will really use this competition yellow to make adjustments.
Teams using simulation setups to get them right when they get here. And they hope that they
Here go the competition caution.
Hamlin and Blaney, they've got it right.
Oh yeah.
They're out front. Hamlin's led 18
Where's the competition
of the 25 laps so far. Blaney the other 7, and there's that competition caution.
There's the competition caution.
Amazing brothers with Kyle and Kurt Busch here. The 600th start for Kyle Busch. Definitely now a Las Vegas native. He is a legend. The two brothers, Kyle making his 600th Cup Series start. Second youngest to do it. Two-time champion. 59 Cup Series wins. He's over 200. You'll see with Cup, Xfinity, and trucks all time. 222.
I mean, think about this, Rick. If he was fortunate enough to pull off the win today, that would be in the toughest stock car series in the world. I mean, that we know he's good, two-time champ, but I mean, those are some unreal numbers. Talk about winning percentages.
750th Cup Series start for his brother, Kurt. And Kurt always is quick to say my younger brother, my little brother. But his little brother's accomplished quite a bit. Kurt also himself.
And I feel bad for him. Brought the cars when the playoffs started.
What the?
It really comes down to that.
What the?
Eliminated him so early. We'll never know what could have happened. His teammate in the 42 ran late enough that
That would have been pencil.
could have had that race back. I think he could have had a chance of moving forward. You just never know where that's going to go. But that's the same thing. A little bit of luck on your side.
So now the field making their way through turn 4. They will be able to come onto pit road if they so choose.
Expect to see them all. Fuel is required to make this stay.
If you hit the brakes hard as they're coming on to pit road now, Kelly.
Denny Hamlin wasted little time getting to the front,
Well,
but they had some work to do on this 11 car. He said he needs more security, especially over the bumps. They said he felt like he had a lot of travel that was bouncing up and down 4 Goodyear tires. His teammate Kyle Busch in the number 18 said it started off just a little bit loose, but as he gave it more throttle, the car was getting tighter. 4 tires as well for the 18, Dave.
Ryan Blaney running second at that caution. Needs more rear grip. And then entering turn 3 especially, it has to be way too easy. So there's going to be an air pressure reduction in the right rear. 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. He's got that first pit stop. Was it an advantage here? No.
Kyle Busch grabs a couple spots on pit road. So does Harvick. He grabs one.
Welcome to the Chitty 500, folks. We have a strong lineup today. Starting in row number 1 with the Wings.
A real contender coming in with a lot of heat, Bob.
Next is Sushi, who's been on a bit of a roll of late. And finally, we have Cheeseburger.
A rare choice for Jenny.
All right, let's see what Jenny is going to order. Wow, tacos with the upset.
No matter what you're craving, order from DoorDash and get it delivered right to your door.
DoorDash, get more to your door.
Check that out. Internet that's one step ahead.
Yeah? Well, mine's always got my back. Okay, chill. Mine's faster than Harvick.
Okay, that's fast.
Yeah, that's because X5. So powerful, it keeps one-upping itself.
Can the internet do that?
We've broken world records and glued millions to their seats. And still, we're not done yet. Hispanic Heritage Month. Come with us.
We're outboard games. The big seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
This is my wallet before, and this is my rich wallet.
It's smaller, lighter, and a lot more convenient than my old leather wallet. And helps me get rid of all the junk that I've collected over the years.
The Ridge is a huge upgrade. Get your Ridge wallet at ridge.com.
Sports Edge Plus. Home to everything fantasy, DFS, and betting. With premier tools and exclusive insights that are second to none. Get betting.
And also, guys, if you haven't seen Real Cheap paint scheme for Talladega, go check this one out. This is a pretty cool paint scheme for the yellow 500 at Talladega. But he would not be able to play playoffs. This is a little bit. This is the banners are fake because it's yellow. But he's eliminated. But yeah, this is. I can't wait to see this paint scheme be ran for the October Talladega race on October 3rd.
Today's aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. As we look down on that mile-and-a-half racetrack, a little issue coming onto pit road for Christopher Bell. That looks like maybe coming in a little hot here.
Yeah, Christopher Bell just trying to get closed up behind that one car as quickly as he could. You can see the 3 car kind of turned to the left. I think the 1 checked up. See right there? The 1 went to pull up, but then he slows down. And Christopher misjudged it.
Whoa.
Got that right in front, Dave.
22 of Joey Logano. The left rear lugs one more time. Just make sure they have that tight. That'll cost him a lot of track position. By the way, the 1 car of Kurt Busch, a long pit stop, had to fix left rear damage.
That damage was from the nose of the 20, and the 22 car of Joey Logano pit from the 7th position. So a lot of track position earlier in the race, which just, you don't want to keep putting yourself in harm's way. Look at their repair work on the right front of the 20. Yes, Steve, these playoffs have had tons of mistakes. Throughout every race, we've seen these playoff drivers make mistakes. Well, here we are, not 30 laps into this race already, and 2 of the playoff drivers already having issues.
And Dale Jarrett mentioned it. Countdown to green, that was his first point of the entire show. He wanted to see who was going to make mistakes and who didn't.
And the mistakes actually made by the teams earlier when you have William Byron, that team not getting through inspection, or Martin Truex Jr. also having issues with inspection, having to start in the back. 2 by 2 once again, the field working their way off of turn 4. Denny Hamlin will be on the inside. It'll be Kyle Busch on the outside as they go through the restart zone.
Back of the way.
5 of Larson giving a shove to the 11 of Denny Hamlin, but it's the 12 of Ryan Blaney that helps the 18 on the high line, and they're side by side for the lead. Big run by Kevin Harvick in the 4.
Well, back in the way here. Whoa, trucks.
Right now, Blaney could have gone up and given Kyle a hit into turn 3, decided not to, did not want to be on his rear bumper entering the corner, afraid he was going to wreck him.
First 2 rows stay side by side.
For a little while after the restart, just like a game of numbers, like this speedway track, who has the most help? That outside line seems to be the preferred line. A lot of guys want to get there. You just can't really finish the throttle, use as much gas. Harvick had a great run, went to the inside. Now he's losing a spot or battling to maintain a position after not being successful that first row with the bottom.
Now 1 and 2 completely in shade.
I'm gonna try one of these. Was it good?
Ready?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. I love Freddy.
Harvick to the inside of back to Benedetto at 21.
Brad Glass with a big issue in the middle of 3 and 4. out of gas, loses a few spots down the front straightaway, losing all that momentum. There you see Brad, the 2-car. It's like that car got in the middle of turning 4.
Outside of 3 wide. Number 2 as we see him get in front of and clear Alex Bowman. Top 2 have separated themselves now as Hamlin and Kyle Busch, about 4 car lengths between themselves and the 12 of Ryan Blaney.
Very well. He's on the defense right here, trying to fend off a battle from Matt Benedetto. Harvick got right to his left rear quarter panel.
Nothing.
Pulled that 21 car back to him. Going to try to turn early to get away from him.
Look at William Byron. He moves to the inside of Chase Elliott. Thought we might see the 9 and the 4 right next to each other there. For the first time since what happened in Bristol.
Harvick had Matty D
Didn't
cleared.
get one.
Just didn't quite
That's
stay
the
up there
lead
long
still.
enough to keep him behind him. Now Matty D back on the outside and is cleared.
This is
him.
stage
Harvick
1,
to the rear
Baba.
bumper, took the air off the spoiler.
This is stage.
Back underneath him again.
I know, but we already know that Hamlin is going to be a fan of a championship.
Harvick right down on that white line and now drifts up in front of Matt Benedetto.
All time going to stay up high on quarter exit the 9.
I know, Baba. I know Hamlin's gonna make the champ. He's gonna be a good champion.
Matt Benedetto, without a ride next year, currently doesn't have a job.
I know. Yeah, I know because he's most likely.
Late, runs in the season.
He's only 39 out of 80.
Listen into the driver before Kevin Harvick.
Forget about your race.
It's messed up, but it might be messed up in a way that it might be okay. Trying to get some better pictures of it.
You guys see how cool Kyle Larson's car looks?
The toy train? Yeah, that looks sick, man.
What is it?
What?
What car is that, number 5?
Kyle Larson, that's the toy train.
Oh. He's about to pass Kyle Busch.
That's the black paint scheme.
It looks cool though, right?
Yeah, bro. I mean, I never seen any Kyle Larson paint schemes like that in my life. Jeez, my favorite Kyle Larson paint scheme is just the February.
Look at Larson overtaking Busch. Look, he just took him. Wow, he cut inside.
There's that Kevin Harvick Subway delivery paint scheme.
Did you guys see Kyle Larson? The way he
was talking about. Thought there might be some damage to it.
It's a great battle
I know.
Heating back up again. Dave.
Eyes on the third place car of Kyle Larson. Interesting comments before he came to pit road.
Interesting paint scheme for Larson, by the way.
I can be loose or tight on exit, depending just how I hit it. So they made an air pressure adjustment, trying to give me some more consistency. But, drivers searching for lines around here.
So far, so good, Baba. This is like going good so far.
You good, bud?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm gonna enjoy Talladega most of all.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait. October 3rd. It's the Yellowwood 500 at Talladega Super Speedway. I mean, back in April, Joey Logano took a massive flip. Whoa. Oh, here goes Larson. Larson's gonna pass Kyle Busch for second on the apron right there. I thought Larson was gonna go in the grass. Then we could have. Oh, we gotta come on, Sean. The iPad down because I don't want it to get copyright strike.
WeatherTech floor liners. Discover all the ways to keep your vehicle looking like new at WeatherTech.com. Proudly made in America.
Hitting the road this summer? Not all 5G networks are created equal. T-Mobile covers more interstate highway miles with 5G than the other guys. T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, most reliable 5G network.
Your mission: stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq, a once-daily pill, can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq relief. With RA, your overactive immune system attacks exercise. Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis.
Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Sometimes fatal have occurred, as have certain cancers, including lymphoma, and tears in the stomach or intestines, and changes in lab results. Your doctor should monitor your blood work. Tell your doctor about any infections, and if you are or may become pregnant while taking Rinvoq.
Take on RA. Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq. Make it your mission. If you can't afford your medicine, Abbott may be able to help.
So, if you have a flat tire, dead battery, need a tow, or lock your keys in the car,
Okay.
Geico's emergency roadside assistance is there 24/7.
Get my munch extra.
I've got a flat tire. Yeah, can you find a take where it's a bit more dramatic on that last line, yeah? Yeah, I got it.
Someone help me! I have
Kyle Larson takes the lead.
Oh my god, that was funny.
What's 21 doing? What's he doing?
First.
Hey, Baba.
Yo. What am I doing? Funfetti, kid. Pillsbury. Is that the one Mom made today?
Yeah. If you poke on his stomach, he laughs.
He goes,
and then he accidentally.
Mark.
Yeah.
He goes,
Oh my god, that Pillsbury man has never done something like that.
This is the on the bottom of the racetrack. Watch this here.
Oh wait, as we go back here live for Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Better. These Gibbs boys need to work on the long run stuff. Contact with Kevin Harvick and Matt DiBenedetto. We found it. There it is. There's the concern with Kevin Harvick and that right front fender. Crew chief thinks he may have actually hit the car or helped the arrow. No left rear flat tire for Matt DiBenedetto, so he survives.
Kyle Busch was able to get by the 11 of Denny Hamlin, so now it's Kyle Busch running in that second spot. Hamlin back to third, and Kyle Larson in a familiar place this season, back up front, Dave.
And Rick, one of the reasons why he's run up front this year is because of the feedback that he gives crew chief Cliff Daniels. Now, Cliff told us this week on a Zoom call, and Jeff Burton, I know you were integrally involved on that Zoom call this week. He said it may not be adequate feedback for people that don't know him, but I've studied Kyle. I've watched the feedback that he gives in his sprint car and his dirt late model and how it translates to his cup car. I don't need him to tell me what area to attack. I know what questions to ask when he gives me feedback, and it's worked out very well for him this year.
Yeah, Dave, that was a fascinating conversation. How he talked about, he really paid attention to Kyle's dirt racing and what the language he uses when he's racing dirt, and how he likes his car and how he likes to communicate it so he can put Kyle in a position where he's comfortable with that information. And that has clearly worked for them. Great work learning your driver. We saw it earlier, the 22 car had his trouble on pit road, had to come down, tighten up lug nuts.
Try Newman.
He has only gotten back to 20 for first place, guys.
Getting passed by Logano. Mr. Cheapskate Joy Logano. Mr. Boo-Hoo Crybaby Logano. And Mr. Cheapskate Harvick and Mr. Crybaby Brad. Mr. Baby Bottle DiBenedetto. Oh, it's Mr. Cheapskate Bill Harvick in the Subway delivery paint scheme.
Top 2, top 3 lap times every single lap. He'll lose a little bit of pace trying to get around this 4 car, but he's definitely got a quicker car than Kevin. There you see how he's marched up through the field.
I would think Kevin Harvick and his team, Steve, are pretty happy right now. You know, this has been a struggle. They haven't lapped at this race in the spring. They literally got lapped. And right now, although not winning pace, certainly top 6, top 7 pace.
Yeah, I mentioned Atlanta was the last mile-and-a-half track back in July. Even there, he was outside the top 10 in 11. So, you know, that was improvement for being lapped here in the spring. Showed improvement in Atlanta, and now here he is inside the top 10.
Dick. William Byron in that that rainbow-colored 24 up to the top 10, possibly going to score stage points here after starting at the back of the field 2 weeks in a row for young crew chief Rudy Duco. I mean, last week he told us this week on a Zoom call that he laughed. He said, "Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Ha ha! It was so stressful getting to the
Really?
end." He said, "But
Ha ha ha.
now this week, starting at the rear and rolling forward. Oh no, we might get a few more gray hairs on Rudy before these weeks are over here, Rich."
Well, they have to rely a little bit on the playoff points they bring into these playoffs and this round. So they had 14 playoff points that put them just above the line. But again, as you mentioned, Dave, having to start at the back and work your way up. Every position is worth a point, and there are points given at the end of each stage. So they're going to be fighting for every point they can get at the end of each stage. Kelly.
You guys talked about the progress that Kevin Harvick and this Ford team have made, and when I asked Kevin about it, I said, "You feel a sense of momentum after such a good first round of the playoffs?" He said, "Really, it started several weeks ago, and we've just gotten better and better, and some of the competition has taken notice." I had another playoff crew chief told me that what makes this Ford team so deadly is that they always finish where they should. Between Kevin Harvick and crew chief Rodney Childers, they just don't make a lot of mistakes. When I asked Kevin about that as well, he said,
Subway.
"That's exactly what we do. And so many of these other guys are incapable of doing it.
Subway.
That's where
Subway
we're stuck.
delivery.
Last week, it could have been catastrophic.
Special delivery. Your Subway.
That's where their strengths are.
Over with Kevin Harvick here, well in the 4th place position on the bottom of the screen, the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Listen in.
Hey, this my strawberry banana man. Ryan Blaney. Yeah.
All right, let's dissect that. That's a conversation between crew chief
Oh
and
God,
driver.
get out of the way, BJ McLeod.
Vibration or chatter. Chatter would be perhaps a
Thank you.
tire itself, not a loose
Come on,
wheel.
Blaney.
He says he's confident about the lug nut patterns on the pit stops. He feels that they have enough lug nuts tight. Unfortunately for Ryan Blaney, he's trying to dissect this with 24 laps to go at over 175, 180 miles an hour.
A lot of points to be gained if you can stay up inside the top 10.
Wow. That's a low price.
That's a low price. Oh, that is a low price.
What's a low price?
Can you let me shop? That's a low price.
At Amazon, anytime is a good time to save.
Once again, we have the Coca-Cola. See a sugar commercial.
I need to try it first.
It's time to switch to T-Mobile. Right now, pay zero cost when you do. Keep your number and keep your phone. We'll even pay it off. Up to $800. Only at T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Is it too early to start celebrating Halloween?
Well, if you're celebrating by eating Reese's, then no. You're actually late. Not sorry, Reese's.
Welcome back, football fans. We'll see you in the fridge.
With Advanced Same Day, you get the parts you need fast. Get free delivery.
Ryan Blaney.
Or pick up your parts curbside or in store in just 30 minutes. Pick your parts and get going with Advanced Same Day.
I could maybe eat 2 cheeseburgers and a cherry lemon. Oh, yeah. What size? 344? Go big or go home. Go big or go home. And if you're going to do it wrong, do it right. If you're going to eat the dessert, buy the shoes. Besides, the drinks stuff off. You have too many shoes.
Now, we all know Progressive offers 24/7 protection, but we also bundle outdoor vehicles with home and auto to help people save more.
What are you all doing in my day trade?
It's better than that presentation.
Not better.
You know, whether it's a fraction or a decimal, it's still fun, you know?
NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series is closing in on the finale of its 12th season, second to last race. 9 o'clock this Tuesday on eNASCAR.com for Talladega. Trying to find the final 4 drivers that will race for a championship in Phoenix on October 12th. Tune in Tuesday, 9 p.m.
100 grand, right? For the winner of this series?
The champion in Phoenix will win
License
$100,000.
number
So their
lead.
format's a little different. Basically, they go from 12 to 4. It's a big cut.
Yeah.
It's a big cut. 8 drivers don't make it, but
Yep.
it's going to be exciting, Talladega.
Got
Let's get a few
license.
updates. We'll start with the 19 of Mark Truex Jr. having a start in the
Can't wait
back there.
for Talladega.
Ricky was one of several that did that today, and he didn't have as good forward progress as did William Byron. He got to P18 on that first comp caution. One of the reasons was he had such a dirty windshield. Someone was dropping oil, and he really had trouble seeing, so he kind of took it easy. They've made adjustments on that pit stop.
17 is going to stage number 1 at Las Vegas.
He's only picked off 2 since the restart, Kelly.
Just behind Truex is Brad Keselowski, a 3-time winner here at Las Vegas. He was runner-up in the spring as well, but it sounds like they still got a little bit of work to do on this tune to get it to Brad's liking. Have a listen.
Balance is not terrible here. A little free off of core, but not terrible. Just feel like I'm missing 50 pounds of downforce, you know?
So balance not terrible, but I'll let you guys in the booth put that into perspective. What's it like? I think he said he's missing 50 pounds of downforce. Explain that for us.
Well, Kelly, he's just overall doesn't have the grip that he wants. He's not really way loose or way tight. He just wants to be stuck in the racetrack better. They may not have as much downforce out in this car as other teams, thinking that as this race track gets cooler when the sun goes down, then you don't need that downforce. So maybe this is a play to have a better, faster car later in the night.
Steve, that's a popular request from a driver. I need about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 more pounds of downforce. I just need more grip, but that is one. I mean, how do you do that? You can't just add more grip to overall car. We work on the front and the back, but I don't know about just making the whole car have more grip.
No, but one thing we can do is as that sun goes down and the temperature's cool, I put a little more tape on the nose of that car. That'll add a little bit of front downforce, take a little drag away, and then maybe mess with that rear ride height a little bit. But that big spoiler back there, maybe that's the plan for the 2 car. At least that's what I'd be selling.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Look at Tyler Reddick in the 8 moving very well along the wall here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway up against the fence.
Perfect.
Going by Harvick now for the 7th
This
spot.
Talladega is eliminated from the playoffs. Dang, that far.
Was eliminated out of the
I
round
really
of
wanted
16.
Talladega to.
Harvick had mentioned a wheel issue, or excuse me, a tire potentially a problem.
Car looks super loose to me right through there in turn 3 and 4. Let's listen to Kevin talking.
Something out right here, Robbie. Voltage. I think it's the tire. Fender's pretty damn bad. That's not pushed in. It's kind of a balloon.
Hey, that's my knee. That's Harvick.
Conversation, talk about the tire.
Hey,
Remember
puppy, get out of here.
Junior that he pointed
No.
out so well when he ran into Matty D, or Matty D ran into him. Not sure how you can tell them straight away. You can kind of see on the right front, it's just, you know, I don't know how you politely say it, it's just not right. It's not the shape you want. There's some damage. You heard the word balloon. Remember, these machines are finely tuned, not only in the wind tunnel, but when they're put together, even if they don't go in the wind tunnel, to the thousandth of an inch. I'm talking thickness of a credit card, where these sheet metal pieces need to be. So that is what, an inch or so on the right front. These drivers, crew chiefs are trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Dave.
Blaney. Come on, Blaney. Let's go.
That is pumping hot water like he knew it would.
Trying to figure out, I believe that might be a cool suitor, you guys. We'll check further into it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's what it sounds like, and that's.
Get off your hand, puppet.
I think
Fine, I
some
will.
of these units you can
I
actually
will.
unplug them, and the water
Okay.
you can drain the water out of
Go
them. But
ahead.
if not, if he has a system where he can't get that water out, that vest is going to sit there, and that water is going to get hotter and hotter. It's 94 degrees out here today.
Dang, 94 degrees?
Track temp 120 degrees.
Alright, here we go.
Very hot water. We go
We're going NASCAR non-stop from Las Vegas.
When we started Carvana, they told us that selling cars 100% online wouldn't work. But we went to work, building an experience that lets you shop over 17,000 cars from home, creating a coast-to-coast network to deliver your car as soon as tomorrow, recruiting an army of customer advocates to make your experience incredible, and putting you in control of the whole thing with powerful technology. That's why we've become the nation's fastest-growing retailer, because our customers love it. See for yourself at Carvana.com.
And Carlos and Ms.
Welcome to
McLeod
Allstate,
again.
where we've just lowered our auto
McLeod
rates.
left down like
And savings like that follow you everywhere. Now get new lower auto rates with Allstate.
well, that's some big things like that.
Because better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click or call for a lower auto rate today.
Check that out. Internet that's one step ahead.
Oh God, that's like my favorite thing.
Well, mine's always got my back.
Royal Joy, with that face on it.
Okay, that's fast.
That's the birthday boy.
My internet's so fast, it keeps simple.
Yep, that's because you all have the same internet. Xfinity X5. So powerful, it keeps one-upping itself.
H2X. Blue X.
For those that want to race, we've got you.
Blue X.
To those that
And we got them.
friendships
Good.
and rivalries, or crave that sweet taste of victory, we've got you too. For those that play hard, lead the pack, and set a new pace,
I know, I saw that.
tip their hat to tradition. We've got you. Find all the gear you need all season long at
Need
NASCAR.com/shop.
It's not just a match between the last two Premier League champions. It's heavy metal football
What a move that was by Liverpool.
versus a well-orchestrated symphony.
She's had the mark of Manchester City.
It's heart-pounding, full-throttle excitement
100 goals for Salah.
against a calm, tactile tempo.
Simplest of finishes.
It's Liverpool, Man City. Wake up with Premier League mornings next Sunday on NBCSN.
You're watching the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. It's the South Points 400 on Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Under 5 laps to go in stage 1.
Wow, already 5 laps to go in stage 1. Bubba Carlos is over.
And Larson out
But
the leader coming in 59 playoff points, looking for his 60th if he can get a win here.
so far that's for playoffs.
Christopher Bell, you see him 20 points now below that cut line. Had the damage to the right front coming to pit road.
Oh God.
Keselowski, Harvick.
Oh no.
Right now below that cut
Oh,
line,
I think.
but
Oh
every
no.
position is
Oh
a
God.
point.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh
And
God.
points
Oh God.
awarded at the end of stage
Oh
1
no.
and stage 2.
Oh
Finish in the
God.
top 10. So these guys fighting
Oh God.
for every
Oh
spot
no, no,
they can
no,
get.
no. Oh my God. I think Christopher Bell might be eliminated from the playoffs. Oh God.
Four that are not going to get any points right
I
here.
don't know.
Keselowski currently in 11th.
I don't know.
Bowman 12th. Logano
What?
15th.
No.
Bell back there in 22nd. Larson
I
now
think
has led
Bell.
33 laps,
I think Bell
closing in
might
on
be
what Hamlin had led earlier,
eliminated because
34
of what
laps.
happened on pit road.
Versus 34
Oh my
lap
God!
led.
After the last two rounds of playoff versus Talladega and the Charlotte
It was
Roll.
crazy how it kind of slipped out of the hands of RCR between the 3 and the 8 as they came down the stretch. Unfortunately for Tyler Reddick, just wasn't able to continue, you know. So it was crazy. He was eliminated after the 3 races. I thought his teammate Austin Dillon was going to be in there as well. I think that battle down the stretch had to weigh on the mind of Tyler Reddick. He did an okay job, just couldn't quite get there. And it's too bad because you see how well he's running here. This is the type of track up high against the wall. I wonder how.
There we go. Stage 1 final lap here along the Vegas Motor
Just enjoy the
Speedway.
experience. He was in the playoffs. He felt the
Kyle
pressure.
Larson in the lead. But Kyle Larson able
A
to
while ago, he missed this round by
win the
2
first
points.
stage.
2 positions over 3 races.
Yeah, and he said, there are plenty of places where I can remember I lost 2 positions. Kyle Larson.
All right, Kyle Larson's gonna win stage 1.
Stage 1 here at Las Vegas.
Woo!
15th stage win already this year. Kyle Busch, Las Vegas native, in second. Hamlin, Blaney, Byron after starting at the back. So finishing the top 5.
All right. Caution. Kyle Larson.
5 points there for finishing just outside of the top 5 in stage 1. But Larson continuing his winning ways here in Vegas.
A lot of people think dealing with COPD is a walk in the park. If I have something to help me breathe better, everything would be fun and nice. But I still have bad days, flare-ups, which can permanently damage my lungs. My lungs need protection against flare-ups. So, it's time to get real. Because in the real world, our lungs deserve the real protection of Breztri. Breztri gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and flare-up protection. It's the first and only COPD medicine proven to reduce flare-ups by 52%.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
For real protection, ask your doctor about Breztri.
Coca-Cola.
I need to try it first.
Coca-Cola.
Free delivery today. Or pick up your parts curbside or in store in just 30 minutes. Pick up your parts and get going with Advanced Same Day.
There's no better place for fun with friends. Bonding time with your little golf buddy. Or an afternoon alone together. Family and friends are just a tap away. Just pick your course, pay from your phone. Golf now. Download the app and go play.
Billboard Proud. Credit One Bank, official credit card in NASCAR. Build creditone.com. And by new Coke Zero Sugar. More delicious. Dennis Rhodes hosting Amigos. Track celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month.
Amigos.
That's a collaborative effort between NASCAR and Coca-Cola and Trackhouse Racing, engaging with the Hispanic community. There are 370 guests here, over 70% of those. Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We were able to enjoy a Q&A session with Daniel, talking about authentic Mexican cuisine, music by a local mariachi band, as well as special access to victory lane. So a lot of fun as we now see the field making its way onto pit road. Kelly?
Denny Hamlin peels off from the 3rd position. He said a number of times during that run that he just needs more grip. He was too loose. His crew chief saying he's got plenty of tools to work with. Didn't want to go too far on that first set of tires. So get more pressure now. His teammate Kyle Busch said the first thing that happens to his car is they get loose. But at the very end of that run, it tightened up. 4 liquid tires.
Another playoff point to carry all the way through the playoff. 10-stage points. Carl lost the nose a little bit when he caught traffic. They're going to make an adjustment for that.
Big changes here looking like going to happen on pit road. 2 spots. spots by Denny Hamlin, 3 by Chase Elliott.
Kyle Busch lost 5 spots on pit road.
Oh, yep, there you go. Talladega.
Just let the world's fastest roulette wheel do what it does best. Choose one winner and leave the rest of the field in heartache. NASCAR playoffs continue at Talladega next Sunday on NBC.
That's my son, Noah. And that, we call that the Greenlight effect. Greenlight's a debit card for kids and teens with an app that teaches them how to earn and manage money. Now, Noah's saving more than he's spending. Join more than 3 million parents and kids at greenlight.com.
Guys, feeling tired, getting soft, growing old? Wake up and grab Ageless Male Max with KSM 66 to help boost total testosterone and be the man you want to be.
I got this mountain bike for only $11. DealDash.com, the fair and honest bidding site. An iPad worth $505 was sold for less than $24. A PlayStation 4 for less than $16, and a Schultz 4K television for less than $2.
I won these Bluetooth headphones for $20.
I got these 3 suitcases for less than $40. And shipping is always free. Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Time now for the Carolina IndyCar update. Steve, big day for the 24-year-old from Spain, Alex Palou.
Yes, clutch stop just with championship. Had to award contact early, was unable to continue. That left it up to Team Penske and Joseph Newgarden or Ganassi and Alex Palou. Alex Palou wins the championship. His dad in attendance. Great scene out in Long Beach. Exciting young man. Going to do great things in sport. Jimmy Johnson, our NASCAR 7-time champ, is third in the rookie standings after a first year.
Yeah, just ran all the road courses too, so it didn't run the ovals at all this year. All right, let's get a few updates from the Peacock Pit Box with Hall of Famer DJ as well as our big man Brad Doherty.
DJ, you know, we talked about it in that first stage. It was pretty uneventful.
Yeah.
But the one guy that I picked that needed to have a really successful day was Christopher Bell, and he put himself in a tough position.
Yeah, we talk about mistakes, and we bring that up all the time, and you just can't. You've got to pay attention all the time. You know, you want to be able to take a breath sometimes.
I just hit one out of the
But getting on pit road, you have to pay attention to what's going on. So much happening there. But up front, it was kind of status quo, exactly what we expected. But this race is going to change throughout the rest of these stages.
Yep, Rick, a little bit of a tough road to hoe for our buddy Christopher Bell, but everything else was pretty calm for right now.
Well, he's got 182 laps to go in this race, so we'll see if he can dig out of that hole that he is in right now. Denny Hamlin and Larson are going to make up row 1. The 10 hit with equipment interference, and it looks as though NASCAR is going to add another lap before we go back to green flag racing.
Christopher Bell also will have to start at the tail. You see him down on the apron right there. He pitted when the pit road was closed. I'm sure that was just a strategy to get a couple extra trips to the pit road to fix that right front fender.
Dave.
Kyle Larson was the leader coming in.
Is that
Dropped back during the pit stops. He will start on the outside of the 11 of Hamlin. But talked about a little bit of a vibration on one of the wheels, and crew chief Cliff Daniels said, okay, everything looks good on the videotape that we looked at, and sometimes you get rubber buildup on that tire. Of course, you'll let me know if it's a loose wheel, so keep your eye on the 5.
Somebody else had an issue during the pit stops. Brad Keselowski lost a lot of spots lost about 7 or 8 spots. Going to start somewhere around 20th. So once again, these playoff drivers,
the auto trader.
several of them have not had smooth days.
That brand new
I was just thinking to myself what Dale would have said if I said, hey man, you're going to let me know if it's loose. I think it's okay, but
Our sky is
it would have been a positive
this
feedback
Las
from
Vegas
inside the
is
car.
just, like, still going
It
on.
might have been something like, I'm letting you know right now. Let's just take it off.
Well, it's great that y'all have
This
the
makes no
information now.
sense
You
at
know,
all.
the pit crews have that information, pressure tape and all that to understand. Hey man, we got them all
Alright,
tight. All
anyways,
the
here we
information
go.
tells us we're good. That helps me as a driver, I think. You know, go out there and stay committed to being on the racetrack.
Right here, go about to go back green here at Las Vegas Most Spirit on the way for stage number 2.
Video of it, so every single crew member can have a shot to say, okay, I hit all the lugs, or we did whatever we needed to do.
Amazing what you see when you slow that video down with their hands.
Alright, here we go.
All right, the field approaching the Geico restart zone as we are.
Danny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. Let's go. Back on the way. Here for Las Vegas.
Danny Hamlin pushed all the way out in front now. 2-car length lead over.
Dang, Hamlin's
Blaney
got
and
a
Larson
good
making a move on
restart
the
jumper
outside now.
there. God. Whoa! Oh my god, we almost wrecked that though. That was a full wide racing. Oh my god. This is gonna get pretty much intense right now here at Las Vegas.
Here comes that outside line once again. Larson working with teammate Chase Elliott behind
Oh, look,
him.
the top 5 playoff
And now
cars.
Larson to the
Hamlin,
outside. Can he get by the 11 of
Larson,
Hamlin?
Elliott, Blaney,
Makes the
Byron.
pass on the high side. Larson back
Wow.
out front.
Kyle Larson's back up front here. Why did you just say it was second?
House cleaning.
Why is it's in the lead? Come on,
to the back
Nascar.
just because of the penalty for pitting early, but he actually lost a lap. Didn't beat the pace car off pit road under the repairs. So Christopher Bell, one of the playoff contenders, currently 30th a lap down. We'll have to keep you updated.
And the hole gets deeper for the 20 team. William Byron again starting at the back of the field to start this race. Now up here fighting for the 3rd spot with teammate Chase Elliott.
It's funny, Dale, you mentioned that it kind of looked like speedway racing with the numbers. It reminds me a little bit of speedway racing on new tires because you can almost see the pass coming about a half a lap early. Right, like they get momentum or a push, and then you know he's going to have more speed in his header at the end of a straightaway. That's the frustrating part about being quicker or having an opportunity to make a pass and going to the bottom. You need help. Look at this 24 car. He needs some help. Nobody really wants to get down there to help him. He's able to make that pass. Slides up in front of his teammate. Takes that air away from the 9 car. Big run right here.
Whoa, free wide. Byron in the lead.
Looking on the inside. Can he clear him?
Whoa.
Byron to the front here in Vegas.
Just like that, last to first. That was a great move. And Steve, you said it, just like plate racing. I mean, he took the momentum
crazy
from
move
almost
right
2
there.
laps before that and made that pass happen. He caught the 11 and the 5.
Oh, caution!
Big hit. He'll hit the inside.
Oh my god! The 15! Joey Gase! He just lost the wheel! What the? So there's a caution, the 3rd caution of the day.
Joey Gase, the 2015 Comcast Community
Oh
Champion.
my god, no! Not Joey Gase.
Gets to him.
Obviously a huge impact.
Dude, Joey Gase wrecked in the backstretch in Michigan, and now here at Las Vegas. What is going on? Jeez. Dude, let's see what happened right here. I think he just got loose right here in the back. Oh yeah, he did. Oh my god. Oh, let's see.
Look how hard.
Wow. That car was up in the air.
Oh my god. Joey Gase was in the air. Hey, got a flip!
Wheel in it, Steve. Yeah,
couldn't tell from this. I could tell.
Oh, come on. Oh, we need a better angle. Come on. No. No, 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 no.
Oh, nothing he can do, and this impact is just,
oh my God.
just a gigantic impact.
Oh.
Look at that car was way up
Look
in
at
the air.
that. Did Joey get like, did he like hit the catch fence? Oh my God. That's one of the worst crashes I've ever seen. Just like at that stage that stage where Brad Keselowski turned Austin Dillon. God, we see that, and now Joey Gates goes up in the air. Oh my God, I really hope Joey Gates is okay. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my God, come on, we need to see a better angle. Oh my God, Joey Gates. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Introducing the all-new Tundra.
Ever wonder if your life could have been totally different? Your dad would be proud of you. It's only natural to wonder, what if?
Ordinary Joe. Monday on NBC.
This is my water before. And this.
Bro, I didn't see that crash again for Joey Gates.
And I'm speaking rid of all the junk that I've collected over the years.
The Ridge is a huge upgrade. Get your Ridge wallet at Ridge.com.
What?
If you've served in the military, first responder, or law enforcement communities, then join GovX.com. On GovX.com, you'll find all the gear you need for your on and off-road life. Become a member and save on hundreds of brands. If you qualify, join for free at GovX.com.
Whether you're playing, coaching, or cheering, Sports Engine Gear has everything you need to get game ready. Team leaders can select, order, and ship full uniform kits and custom jerseys directly to every athlete. Plus, coaches and fans can showcase their team pride with logoed hats, sweatshirts, face coverings, and more. All shipped fast from your own online team store. Buy it, wear it, love it. On SportsEngineGear.com.
Tuesday, TV's most anticipated news show is finally here. Don't miss the premiere of The Brand. Tuesday on NBC. It's NASCAR Cup Series playoffs from Las Vegas, the South Point 400.
Split decision in the field of whether you should come to pit road or not. Let's listen to the conversation of the 18 of Kyle Busch.
Dude, Mom, the 15 Joey Gates crashed.
Sounds to me like the first conversation, be ready for left sides, was under green. He obviously knew he had a loose wheel. The caution comes out. He then says, we got to come take lefts because I know I have a loose wheel. Crew chief comes back and says, we're right on the window. I find that very interesting because if you look on the left side, Byron and Eric Jones, last on pit road, lap 83. No way they're making it to the end of stage 2 with a current fuel load. Everyone behind them, some actually took gas only. Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, just gas to stay inside their fuel window. With long green flag runs, Kelly, it'll be interesting to see if this fuel strategy works out for some of the field.
And it sounds like it was a similar situation for Brad Keselowski and the 2 team. Remember, they lost a bunch of spots on a previous pit stop. That was purely because they took a big swing and changed it.
Dang, Joey Gates. We need a better angle.
Just before that caution came out, felt a vibration, thought he might have a wheel as well. So they also had a long stop with potential.
Oh my God.
Come back down pit road with that group to get 4 fresh tires.
Remember, you hear all
all these loose wheels circle all the way back to the 15 with that huge wreck. The left rear tire and wheel came off the car, and I don't know if the lug nuts were there or not there, whether it was suspension failure. Impossible to say without looking at the race car. Fact, though, is the tire left the race car, and that's what caused it to spin around. So you can see what NASCAR has to say. We have seen some penalties for that before. They're very, very on top of that. Tires coming off, very dangerous for the drivers and even potentially spectators. So got to stay on top of that.
Chase Briscoe was just on pit road. He was running 18th, and he was up there in that front pack. We saw him make an aggressive 3-wide move, Rick. He's had quite an interesting day.
I was going to say it's an eventful day. He and Marissa, they're expecting their first child due 10 days from now is what the due date is. But Chase didn't want to leave with the team plane yesterday. He was going to fly commercial. Well, he got on that plane, and there were issues, so they went back to the gate. We've all experienced it, but we haven't experienced it on the actual day that we're supposed to be working or maybe running a race. And he's all the way in Charlotte. Flight. Well, he sat there, and they got a new flight. Was able to get back on the next flight. He booked another one just in case. He's like, all right, I'm booking another one. I got to back this up. But he did get here on time and is in the race. And I'm sure that Marissa's watching and she's thinking, I'm glad that you're there, but at the same time, I can't wait for you to come home. And she is ready to have that baby.
What a stressful day, right? Afraid your wife's going to have a baby while you're gone. You get on the airplane, flight gets canceled. I'm going to miss the race. And that's what drivers' worst nightmare is having something happen where you can't show up for a race. Maybe things will work out well for you today.
So it's Byron and Larson. They will be making the choice now of inside or outside here as they cross the start-finish line. It's about a 2-second decision here. Once you cross the start-finish line, then you have to choose either high side or low side of that arrow, more or less there in the middle of the racetrack. Larson will be on the outside, and Byron will be on the inside.
As we watch the field choose one car, front number being Ross Chastain. He turned left, came down pit road. I didn't see anything as far as the tires go, but it looks like they're just topping it off with fuel. Like we mentioned, you heard Bush's radio said they were just outside of the fuel window. Not exactly sure if that was the situation for the 42. We'll check in and get you an update, but it is interesting to see an extra pit stop.
They had to tighten the lugs and top them off with fuel on the 42.
And Kelly, it's an epidemic. Lug nuts, loose wheels. What's going on? You know, I don't know. I would have assumed it's just like the drivers. We've seen mistakes by drivers and crew chiefs and everyone's, and now we're seeing it on the pit stops as well, right? I mean, that's all I can really relate it to, Jeff. If it was a tire thing and we didn't see lug nuts being loosened, I'd say, well, maybe it's a tire combination with having, but we're physically watching tire changes come back in and tighten lug nuts. It tells me that they just aren't getting all of them tight.
Tires off, warming them up, getting ready for the restart. Still 63, it'll be 62 to go in stage 2. So keep your fantasy team lineup in mind. You have 62 laps to make a decision.
Oh, we're back. On the way. Back on the way here, Las Vegas. Whoa.
Hendrick Motorsports looking very strong up front now with Larson and Elliott and Byron, the top three. Bowman back there in 6th.
He won.
This weekend, it's been sweeps by the teams. In the Truck Series, it was Thor Sport. They had the first 4 positions. In the Xfinity Series, it was Junior Motorsports finishing 1, 2, 3. Now, a strong performance early in this race by Hendrick Motorsports. 4 wide as they go into turn 1. Larson out front, side by side for second. Byron on the inside, Elliott on the outside.
Look at this right here. Kevin Harvick's really loose. Had to get out of the gas. Almost got in Derek Jones. And here they come. It's going to split him, put him in a bad spot. 2 rows taken off.
Blaney moving up the racetrack. Staying in front of that 48. Now they're in line. Here comes Blaney with the momentum to the inside. Larson now under fire for the race lead. Elliott looking inside. They go all the way to the apron.
See Denny Hamlin moving up in the top 5. About 10 lap pressure tires in the cars in front.
Amir, show me what Joey Gates' crash looked like.
Williams got up there.
Alright, get a car, get a car.
Outside, trying to get him to clear Chase Elliott.
Get a car. So he did this. It's something like. Wait, I can't see. That all 4 tires were like off the ground, right?
Look what happened again.
I know, right?
And then watch his feet.
I know, man, dude. Dude, we need a better angle of that crash, right?
He just loses so much downforce when that car pulls down in front of you. You have no choice
don't
but to
say
lift
that.
off the throttle. And the way these cars look right now, Steve, everybody's pretty much wide open. It's just going to get more and more similar to this. More guys are going to be able to run wide open as it gets later in the evening. It's going to turn more and more into what we're going to see or what we used to seeing at Daytona and Talladega. A lot of crazy moves, a lot of blocking.
You look at the bottom left, you mentioned it, on board with Kyle Larson. 5 green lights. Will he be able to hold it on corner exit? He is. There you go, wide open, and that is 6 laps into this green flag run. Plus, he has a few extra laps on his tires.
And what's impressive is that the cars behind him can still get pretty decent runs. You know, there's opportunities where these guys have chances to pass or make a move on Larson. He has to get defensive, even though he is wide open.
Byron clears him. Byron up to second now. And now it is an all Hendrick top 4. Larson, Byron, Elliott, Bowman.
Chase really running well compared to earlier in the race. Looked like his car was struggling a little bit, but now that he's in the top 3 here, has a bit more pace. And even though they're wide open, look at their cars moving around, Byron. Everybody kind of wiggling a little bit.
Let's see how this works out between the 12 and the 11. Again, Blaney pulled down right in front of Denny Hamlin when it looked as though Hamlin had some momentum going. Shut down that run that Hamlin had. And now Hamlin gets back to the bumper of the 12. Blaney with another run as he goes to the outside of Bowman.
Please stop asking to get the group.
Bowman keeping the left side tires right on the white line. Able to hold that line through 1 and 2.
Impressive move by Blaney, though, to be able to carry that momentum. We'll see if he has the same sort of success down here. Down a little bit, a little side drop. Not super close, but probably as close as he wants to get this early in the race. And that will complete it, won't it, Junior?
Yeah, Blaney used a side draft to start this whole battle off of turn 4. But when given the opportunity to side draft in the back straightaway, Bowman doesn't do it. Had an opportunity to side draft into turn 3 and probably clear the 12. Now again, he's got a chance to side draft. Doesn't choose to do it.
Amir, I know the round 12 cutoff. Amir, I don't know if Bell's gonna get eliminated because about what happened on pit road.
Bowman loses all his momentum right there. Blaney believed he was losing
momentum.
Bowman. The nose of that 12 car.
Come on,
he
Bowman.
hit something,
Come
and
on,
then the car was
Blaney.
plowing tight, according to the driver. Now, that's plowing tight in 4th place against the field, but kind of concerned about the handling change. It was like a light switch suddenly on the 12.
Yeah, look at there, Steve. Don't see any damage. You have a better eye at that than I do.
It's always difficult between the drag ducts and the ductwork and the shape that all these manufacturers now have.
Whoa! My God, Denny Hamlin.
I can't make anything out, but the damage could be just as easy easy. The splitter, you know, under that nose, the splitter and the ductwork is as important as anything on the exterior of the car. So maybe that's damage they're going to have to see under a pit stop. Kelly.
Alex Bowman losing a couple spots there, and you guys make it sound like maybe he didn't take some opportunities he could have. Well, remember how the playoffs started for him. He got into the wall early at Darlington, and Greg Ives, his crew chief, said they felt like they had a car that could have run probably top 5 or 6 there. So that was a really big blow to them to start these playoffs off. And he said, I think that helped Alex kind of
good job, Bowman, for
his
finishing
aggression
5th at
level.
this
That he's
goal
kind
last
of
week.
maybe backing it down a little bit, trying to be a little bit more calculated and look at the big picture. His spotter, observing that he's getting a little tight off 4, told him to watch his entry speed in that turn.
Alex also told us the pressure, if you don't have it, you're not the mix.
A commercial. I mean, I still feel bad about what happened in that.
Casio scored a cashback. Is that the credit one and platinum rewards card? Yeah. So you are earning 5% cashback rewards by filling up your chariot with vehicular ambrosia. Yeah. For your fancy store party. Good. You're good.
Get 5% cashback rewards. Visit GoCreditOne.com.
Go. Hey, Mom? Mom, that's how they release. I don't want to watch it on TV. Can I watch it on, like, Amazon?
I need to try it first.
The great thing about the app is we're going to get happy hour pricing on our drinks. That's right. No matter what time. It's happy hour every hour. Let's be honest. Anytime I see a discount, I'm going to go for it. Right. I don't care what it is. I have to have that.
Anything that is half price tastes twice as good, right?
Right.
Unconventional thinking means we see things differently, so you can focus on what matters most. That's how we've become the leader in 5G, #1 in customer satisfaction, and a partner who includes 5G in every plan, so you get it all.
I need to try it first.
Oh my god, I'm going.
He left us. Remember that, Dad?
Yeah.
I was happy to see him get a job somewhere. I'm rooting for Brady about 2% in this one. He'll hand me behind the bench in the 3rd row. He'll hand me. Glad you're doing good, but I'm on the side of Belichick and the Pats. Patriots all day. I'm done. This conversation's over.
NASCAR Drive, that is your live race day companion. You can follow your favorite drivers with high-definition in-car camera. All you have to do is visit NASCAR.com/drive, or you can download the NASCAR mobile app today. Mention Denny Hamlin.
You guys see it? You see Joey Gase? Right there. That's Joey Gase up in the air. That's literally him up in the air. That's him.
So it sounds like a number of these drivers caught a bit of a lucky break with Matt Caution came out, because we've seen so many that either came back down to pit road to tighten lugs or just went ahead and changed all 4 tires.
Denny Hamlin is now chasing after his teammate Kyle Busch. Those 2 Toyotas running up into the top 4. Our message from Toyota.
I am not waiting until Daytona to get that new Tundra on the track. Commence phase 1. All right, go.
See it? It's Joey Gase right there up in the air. Dude, I still can't believe that just happened to Joey Gase. Wait. Oh. Dude, Joey Gase went up in the air, bro. How you gonna find? Oh.
Seriously?
Abort mission.
Get your helmets.
guys are going to love this thing.
Busch currently running in third position, and he is about 3 seconds behind Kyle Larson. It was Larson and Byron. That battle was heating up, and then it's cooled off again. Byron a second back from Larson. Dave.
Keep an eye on Martin Truex Jr. and that 19-member started at the back, working his way forward. Not completely happy yet with that race car. As it restarted, it was loose in, it was tight off the corner, and it was hitting the splitter. It's come back to him a little bit now, and he's made a little bit of ground just past Kevin Harvick, Kelly.
He did, so Harvick now running 12. Still looks like it's better than they were here in the spring, but remember they had some damage to that fender. Well, Kevin has said, I feel like if we can get that fender fixed, we can actually pass some cars because it turns really well through the center, whereas crew chief Rodney Childers said, look, I don't think we can make it any better than it already is, so we're just going to have to adjust through it with what we've got.
22 of Joey Logano making a pass there on Harvick, now going to the high side. He was told by his team, that's where you're making the most time. Keep it up in that direction. His car, balance-wise, has been mostly to the tight side today.
Running 14th is Brad. Taking some pretty big swings at this car already today, trying to get the balance better, but I'm not sure how much this helps because Brad has said that he's just landing too harshly in turns 1 and 2 to actually complete a pass. He said it's the harshest it's been through those turns.
Some great information from down there. I like what Rodney Childers had to say about the fender of the 4. You got to be very careful because while you do want to repair it, try to do it in a hurry. You can break that seam, and then you have a bigger issue than the messed up fender. And then to add on that harshness for the 2 car, what I've seen before is if your car doesn't turn as well, the front tires get a little tight, it actually rides rougher. I haven't done anything to change the actual ride. There's been no suspension changes. The balance, just the front tires not working as well, will actually make the car feel rougher for the driver behind the wheel.
You guys have all mentioned that the track temperature and the sun beating down on this track is going to change the conditions of how these cars race. And already 1 and 2 completely in shade, and now the front stretch almost completely in shade as well. As the sun, again, sunsets here in Las Vegas, 6:32. Local time closing in on 6 o'clock. We're at 5:43, so getting a little bit closer to that. As we look at William Byron, still running in that second spot, falling back now 2 seconds back, Dave.
And representative, Rick, of that group that pitted last on lap 83, we were wondering, could they make it to the end of the stage? What's the 24 thinking?
Here's a scenario over here. Those guys that pitted with that long caution can just now make it to the stage, so they're not going to pit.
I mean, that's copyright.
What we're going to do, which we can run all the way to like lap 150.
Wait.
What we do for that.
Amir, that's copyright.
For that 150, we're going to have to pit in a lot of
Yeah, I'm going to shut you down.
So, lay in information, Steve.
Just a heads up, driver, you may need to give up that position because you don't have enough gas.
So basically, the car later, if they can make it, that means the 24 William Byron is 10 laps short. That was the lap 150 number. The end of stage 2, lap 160. That's the issue that they're talking about. What he said was, what I liked is we'll kind of try to come up with a plan to stay on the lead lap. Running second, coming down pit road, you know, you don't have to take tires. You're only going to run 10 more laps. So very important right now for their simulation because Larson has to pit, Byron has to pit. They have to figure out the first car that doesn't have to pit, probably Kyle Busch. So now the question is, can you come down pit road, take a splash of gas, and accelerate without losing a lap? Very difficult to do in a racetrack where you lose where you're running 32-second laps.
Great report from Kelly about Kevin Harvick. Let's go on board and listen to what they're talking about.
Shots off of Shane's helmet camera of the fender. I don't think there's anything we're going to do to make it any better than what it is. Kind of is what it is. We're just going to have to adjust to it, do the best we can with it.
That's good information, Steve, coming from Rodney Childers. They actually used the camera from the tire changer. It's now on the tire changer's helmet. They were able to look at that fender, get a great close-up of it. Rodney's saying, hey, look, we're not going to be able to make it better. I think a couple things with that, Steve. Number one, it's going to hurt their performance today. But number two,
if they are able to advance out of this round, they are not going to be able to learn as much from this race to be able to apply to Texas and Kansas. So this race, right now, it's hurting their performance. It's hurting their chances to get it out of this round, but that damage can go further in Texas and Kansas as well.
Yeah, going to have to make adjustments to it. Another option for those cars that have to pit, Rick, is you take 4 tires of fuel, and then at the end of the stage, you just take the wave around and get back in the lead lap, and then you lose a little track position. A lot to be decided here with 31 to go in stage 2.
That's why the crew chiefs all make those calls.
Well, most people will probably know that Geico could save them money on car insurance, right? You see, the thing is, Geico could help them save on boat insurance too. Oi! Okay, I'm ready to come in now. Hello?
I'm trying my best.
Seriously, I'm serious. Request to come ashore.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
We get out. Fired up. Hook big ones. We get out and rip them. And we track them down. So crack a Mountain Dew. Get out and do.
An F-150 isn't an F-150 because of the name on the tailgate. It's an F-150 because it's built for tough, built to haul more, built to tow more, for the people who count on it. Because they know that brawn can get the job done, but it takes brains and brawn to get it done right. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Few teams taking advantage of green flag pit stops. They knew they weren't going to make it all the way to the end of the stage, so they've made the decision to come to pit road now. 9 coming off of pit road, the 24 on pit road now.
William Byron is there, Rick. Sorry about that. And he is going to take his 4 tires and fuel now, or will he just take 2 to go, getting ready to roll?
Just 2 tires.
Yep, now just 2. And I believe it was because that was so slow, Steve. That's why they aborted the plan.
Yeah, he had to abort, right? He didn't want to lose more time. So the call for these cars right here is to come to pit road. The plan was 4 tires. Get back on the racetrack with 27 to go. Try to use those fresh tires to unlap yourself and at least be on the same cycle as the cars we don't expect to pit. But the 24, William Byron, a slow right front pit stop, and Rudy Bugle making the call saying, listen, we got to go with 2. We can't sit here any longer, as this right here is a great battle between teammates Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. Great job by the pit crew of the 24, not already having the left rear lug nuts off. I've seen that become an issue, and a great call for 2 tires turns into calamity. It seemed like it went okay for the 24.
These 2 are fighting for the 2nd spot right now. Kyle Busch has it. Denny Hamlin trying to take it back. Both of them on a different pit cycle. They came on lap 93. Steve potentially can make it all the way to the end of the stage.
Yeah, and I would assume with 26 to go and seeing these other cars come to pit road, if they're a lap or 2 short, I'm sure they are saving fuel. The crew chiefs are giving that information. For this strategy to really work out, they do not want to come to pit road.
So potentially these 2 fighting for what could end up being a stage win, as they have separated themselves from Ryan Blaney, who is back there about 4 seconds behind them.
And that's really the issue, I think, when you look at those cars that stayed on the racetrack. You know, Larson, he had a pretty big lead coming in. But the other cars that might have to make that extra pit stop under green, they're going to miss out on stage points. I mean, maybe it will cycle around in only 24 laps, but as I look at my fantasy team here, I'm in a little bit of a quandary on who I should leave in and who I shouldn't, because some guys are going to miss out.
Kyle Larson up top. You see him currently leading, has a 3-second lead. Listen into his radio.
Right now our plan is going to be to run through the switch, which will be in 15 laps. Don't want to catch you off guard.
That's great information by Cliff Daniels, telling his driver the plan so he knows what's going on. He's not out there by himself. The switch he's talking about is in the back of these cars in the fuel cell. They have, you know, basically 1 pickup in the fuel cell and a second. It's almost like a reserve, but it's in the same container. Basically, what you need to know at home is when the thing stumbles, Kyle Larson will flip a switch, and you have about a lap and a half more fuel. So they're planning on going as long as they can, trying to hope to catch a yellow.
What happens if he gets to turn 4? He's obviously not going to come to pit road and stumbles. He hits that switch. Does he have enough fuel to make it all the way around onto pit road and it refire once they put fuel in it?
Well, it shouldn't even shut off. These are all engineered to run 1 lap at the longest track, longest oval. We'll call it Pocono or Indianapolis when we used to run at the oval at Indy. So You know, that's the idea. Is even if it ran out at the end of the backstretch and you didn't have time, you would have, you know, to pit, you could run another lap.
So the problem with Byron and Chase. So Chase, has 4 new tires. He's got decent pace, 3140s. I still think he's about a third of a lap behind the leaders. I don't know if he'll be able to get there. Byron not being able to put on those 4 tires is running the same laps as the leaders. He's no faster. So there's no chance for him to even run these guys down. And even when the caution comes out to take the wave around and only use left side tires, they're in a really bad position right now.
Yeah, that's why I was actually surprised that they chose to come. They must have felt that they could unlap themselves with fresh tires, because what the 5 is doing, they're just going to put on tires and fuel and take the wave around. So if we pick up, the 5's really leading, but let's pick up the 11 and the 18, because they're the important cars in reference to this car, the 9 of Chase Elliott. You mentioned it. It's a quarter lap. I mean, he is a little quicker, but with traffic, it is so hard to figure out if he's going to run him down or not.
He's got 20 laps to do it in.
It's 0.2 of a second faster. That's essentially what the tires right now. It's only about 0.2 of a second. So if Hamlin doesn't slow down quite a bit more on these older tires, it would be very difficult for him to get to him.
And then the problem is we've seen so much green flag racing that if you enter that final stage at a little bit of a deficit, I'm not saying your day's over, but it's just really, really hard. You see on the bottom left, that's a great graphic to show you 5 leading, the 11 basically start-finish line now, heading into turn 3, the 9 of Chase Elliott. That is more what crew chiefs look at. So on top of the pit box, we kind of call it the dancing ants, because all the little numbers go around and it looks like ants marching around the racetrack. What that allows us to do as crew chiefs is to see where you are relative to other cars, where you may, there's even predictive software that says if you pit now and change 2 and or 4, this is where you re-enter the racetrack relative to traffic. So a lot is going into these strategy calls by the crew chiefs.
So that lap, Chase Elliott was about 3/4 of a second faster. So at that pace, he's got a shot.
And again, Rudy Fugle made the verbal when he was on pit road to only do 2 tires. And so that has put William Byron in a little bit of a hole here.
Larson still on the track. He'll be coming in a little bit. Guys are still chasing after him. We go NASCAR nonstop.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a year old or a few years old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
These are the people who work on the front lines. They need a network that's built right. That's why we created Verizon Frontline, the advanced network and technology for first responders. Built on America's most reliable network. Built for real interoperability and built for 5G. It's America's #1 network in public safety. Verizon Frontline, built right for first responders.
We finally found the perfect house.
Yeah, we couldn't believe the deal we got. Just lucky, I guess.
We're a little closer to the airport than we thought. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Saving us so much money. How was your flight? Good.
Morning, Ted.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Talladega isn't fair. It's not supposed to be. And it doesn't want it to be. Throw around 12 playoff drivers at over 200 miles an hour, and let's see the world's fastest roulette wheel do what it does best.
No way.
Choose one winner and leave the rest of the field in a heartache. NASCAR playoffs continue at Talladega next Sunday on NBC. Talladega isn't fair. It's
The
not
same
supposed
commercial.
to be. And it doesn't want it to be. Throw around 12 playoff drivers at over 200 miles an hour, and let's see the world's fastest roulette wheel do what it does best.
No way.
Choose one winner and leave the rest of the field in a heartache. The NASCAR playoffs continue at Talladega next Sunday on NBC.
And we're back. Back here
NBC
on
Sports on Sirius XM this week, joining
Stage 2
Mike
of
Bagley
14
and Pete
to go.
Pistone on the Morning Drive on NASCAR Radio Channel 90 will be Mike Tirico. That's live Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Probably going to talk a lot about how the USA won the Ryder Cup. Maybe even talk about Brady going up against the Patriots. So he's got a lot to talk about with those guys this week.
That first tee shot at the Ryder Cup was unbelievable.
Today, Ryder Bryson.
When he hit it on the green, the place was electric.
He erupted, and then he knocked it in for an eagle. Pretty impressive run there for those guys. Take a look at tonight's Xfinity fastest lap. That is Tyler Reddick. Reddick right now in that fifth position. It was his 101st lap. 30.386, the fastest lap turn already tonight. Kelly.
Just checking in on playoff contender Christopher Bell. Remember the problems he had early on in this race. Heavy damage. They went down the lap because they spent too much time on pit road trying to repair that right front corner. Well, for a while he was in position to be the lucky dog. He was the first car to lap down, and it looked like he might have a shot to get back on the lead lap. That has since gone away, and not just because Chase Elliott and William Byron hit it under green, but now the leaders have lapped a couple other drivers, so this is going to be a big hole for this team to climb out of. And right now, showing 25 points and the last driver of the 12 in the playoffs.
Yeah, big hole for Bell as we see Ross Chastain working here on the outside of the 11, but Ross Chastain is a lap down. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also a lap down already. So Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, they have been putting together some pretty impressive laps.
All right, Dale Jr., we had this conversation. You mentioned Byron had lost that time. Well, I think the 9 of Chase Elliott might get a little reprieve. He might have a chance. The 11, if you look in front of him, cars galore. Look at the traffic that the 11 is going to have to find a way through. I know Larson still has to come to pit road, but we're going to call Denny Hamlin basically going to be the leader. Chase Elliott behind him. He's been 5/10, 6/10, 7/10 of a second faster. Can he catch the 11?
The 11's 4.5 seconds behind him. He's got time to get there. Listen to what they're telling Chase Elliott.
Sure, Ray, but it's going to be real close to the leader. That 43 in front of you now is the lucky dog, so we do everything we can to get him. Leaders in heavy traffic. We'll make as much hay on him as we can.
That's the one other thing that can save the 9 of Chase Elliott is if he can stay the first car a lap down, or the highest scored car a lap down at the end of the stage to get the free pass.
These cars are battling
stage 2
Denny
to
to stay on
go.
the lead lap. They're making it really, really difficult. He loses a lot of time right here off of turn 4.
Looks like Larson is making his way onto pit road now, so he gives up the lead.
Chase Elliott down to 2 seconds behind.
Kyle Larson.
So he doesn't have to pass the 11. That would be nice. But if he could just put himself in position as the lucky dog, so he's either racing to pass the 11 or racing Ross Chastain. Dave.
Kyle Larson waited until the dash told him it was time to flip the switch inside the pickup, inside the fuel cell. He did that and then said, I'm coming to pit road. It'll be 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel. Same story for the 12 of Ryan Blaney. He'll get 4 of fuel and head back out. We'll see where they blend into this crowd, which has now become a little bit confusing, right?
Just a little bit. So Blaney has scored now a lap down. William Byron scored a
Look at
lap
all
down.
this stuff, close.
Larson officially scored a lap down.
And there you see the 11 of Hamlin right there. Chase Elliott, he is going to get to him. He has got so much faster.
Stage 2. Bubba, your man, Denny Hamlin, leads.
5 laps to go, still in stage 2.
It's been amazing, the speed he's found in the last 5 laps as Hamlin has lost that speed. The 9 of Chase Elliott, foregone conclusion that right here, he's going to go right by. The question now is, can William Byron somehow find that speed on those 2 older right side tires? He's farther back, but that would be a big change in his day. As we see Alex Bowman, the 48 on pit road.
Yeah, and Alex Bowman's just been way too tight. He also has said he's had a vibration, but he just feels like it is what it is. He gave up a top 5 spot.
Where to go?
So Byron has a real shot, and he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to get to the 11. He just has to pass Chastain, be able to put himself in position for the lucky dog, because the next car for the leader Hamlin to lap
Obviously, Chase Elliott right there in front of him, but Ricky Stenhouse, who's a few cars
ball
right
free
there,
to go.
right there going by him the screen. I don't think that Hamlin gets there. It's a possibility he doesn't. So William Byron is trying to chase down Ross Chastain, put himself in position to get the lucky dog and save his race.
Yeah, that free pass is what he needs. We know that Kyle Larson, coming so late in the stage, will take the wave around.
Yeah, one thing, too, this strategy has done is
Wait.
get stage points. Truex, Logano, Keselowski, Harvick, they haven't run great, but this strategy of putting no fuel, being able to stay out here, that's going to get them some stage points.
That gets us a beneficiary.
Is on the screen. William Byron trying to chase down this 42. 2 laps to go.
Can he do it in 3 miles? Well, he's
You're
closed
busy
the gap
4
now,
days
all the way to
out
the
of
back
5.
bumper for the 24.
Mondays you have practice,
be in
Tuesday
the
you have
free
guitar
pass
practice,
position.
Wednesday karate, Thursday karate.
Byron's got to get by the 42.
Friday's your only day off.
Chastain points him to the bottom. He knows he's behind on tires.
Tuesdays.
So 24 is in the free pass position. I hate to tell William Byron the bad news. I think he's going to be
The
okay
flag.
with only a couple laps to go.
Here we go.
Larson is so fast. He's the next car
Wait,
back 1 lap down. Unbelievable the speed of that 5 car.
So the final lap for
Let's go,
Denny
guys.
Hamlin.
It's time to go up, Mom said.
And Byron just has to hope that he
Yeah,
does.
Wait, I need to watch the stage 2 on my iPad. Dang it. Your iPad.
Far enough in front that these last
Come
2
down
corners,
here, you guys, not me.
Denny Hamlin
Here comes Hamlin
won't be able to
off
get
of
to
4.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.,
Is it
but
going to
it
the
will
line?
be another stage win for
Corner
Denny
pistol.
Hamlin.
Denny
He
Hamlin wins
stage
stage
2 here
2.
in Vegas.
Okay. Let's see. Top 5. Cowboys second.
Jokins racing 1 and 2 in stage 2. Tyler
Alright.
Reddick,
Third,
good run in third.
4th.
Martin
Who's going to
Truex
get
Jr.
5th?
4th. So more stage points for
Alright,
the
again.
19 team.
Alright, so that's it for my reaction. I'll check everything tomorrow.
Keselowski,
Who wins and there's
Kurt Busch,
any more extra.
Harvick,
Thank you guys for watching.
Austin Dillon,
I'll
and
see
Bubba
you
Wallace
in my
looks like
5th
will
reaction race of the
gain
2020
a
season at
stage
Talladega.
point.